Hello there, welcome to the channel, Loving Life on Less. Amongst many of our wonderful viewers and subscribers, we have some real super duper frugalistas. We also have some minimalists, and we also have some preppers. One of our wonderful viewers has written a book about their frugal living and minimalistic lifestyle. I have had the pleasure of reading it. Countercultural, Rebel with a Cause by Michele Nutter, also known as Rough-Hewn Homestead on the channel, is a book of written experiences, moving away from a heavy consumeristic lifestyle to a frugal, more sustainable one. The threat of redundancy and serious credit card debt was the tipping point for Michele to do something proactive and improve the family's circumstances. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the tips and wisdoms and ideas from Michele's book. She has very kindly given us permission to do so thank you, Michele. Housewife Michele, her husband and 3 children lived a good and plentiful life on her husband's generous income. He could work overtime, had great bonuses and a great hourly rate. They lived right up to and beyond their means until the year 2012. Michele started to worry. Her husband's company had several rounds of laying people off, and she thought it was only a matter of time before they would lay her husband off. Living in a rural community, there was not a lot of work opportunities should redundancy happen, and this gave Michele sleepless nights, and she was continually fretting. The household finances were ruling her and her husband's every waking hour. Realising the stress had now trickled down onto her children, she was inspired to become proactive and start to manage the financial situation rather than the situation managing her. Laying out all of her bills and expenses on the kitchen table, and with a strong cup of coffee, she sat down and started looking through all the financial details. With over $20,000 of credit card debt and a precarious employment situation, she realised she had done the right thing. The potential catastrophe could have been overwhelming. She prayed for help, strength and guidance. And then came the daunting task of ringing all the creditors and discussing her situation with them. As she spoke to each creditor, her confidence grew as she managed to make new payment arrangements which would help the family financially. She readily admits that the debts had been accrued by a having to have everything now mentality rather than saving for purchases. After then creating a budget came the frugal living in earnest. First was cutting back expenditure, taking subscriptions down to a basic package or totally cancelling them. TV packages, phone packages, internet packages, etc. And feeling super rebellious, vehicles were no longer being traded up for better models. Things that mattered were safety and longevity. Needs, not wants, were now the order of the day. Michele researched frugal living ways to save money, and she was delighted at the depth of knowledge and information she could find. It was inspirational. She started to encourage the family to turn off lights, the television, changing normal light bulbs for energy-efficient light bulbs, and line drying clothes outside and in the laundry rather than relying on the clothes dryer. All these reductions in electricity showed savings in the energy bill. Taking a large family-sized ketchup bottle, rinsing out and filling with water, Michele put it in the back of the toilet tank. The water displacement would save water every time somebody flushed the toilet, and with having a household of 5 people over a month, this would certainly add up and show on their water bill. She would wash clothes on the shortest cycle and learned how to make her own laundry detergent. She had a drying rack in the laundry room to dry laundry indoors, and would also throw in a large old beach towel to speed up the drying cycle if she was using the clothes dryer, or if you're in the UK, the tumble dryer. She would menu plan her meals and just add in a few snacks and staples to the shopping list. She would write the list according to the shop's layout and then follow the list. This saved time, and she would be walking backwards and forwards around the shop, being continually tempted by the impulse buys. She would stockpile groceries and toiletries when they were on offer, shop the lost leaders, and occasionally use coupons. She found a lot of the coupons were for convenience foods or named brands, and she could buy healthier brands or generic brands for cheaper. Being a minimalist by nature, she would also keep her stockpiling under control, not buying in excess, but making sure there was plenty bought when bargains could be found. Changes happened gradually rather than overnight, and each day was a new learning experience. Michele started to mix her own seasoning mixes, baking mixes, pasta sauces, breads, gravy mixes, sauces and syrups. All the things that would cost you extra money at the shops, she learnt to make herself. A lot of the recipes can actually be found in the book, and there's some great ideas. I shall certainly be using some of them. Again, wanting a better quality of food, Michele started shopping at the local produce stores and farm markets. She found a farm-to-table market in her locale, and this would provide the family with local honey, organic roasted coffee beans, grass-fed and free-range meats. They also built a raised bed and grew some of their own vegetables and fruits, producing organically, so they could avoid the use of fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides. Sorting out the budget made them more aware of the importance of nutrition, sustainably sourced foods, and humanely reared meats. They very often cost more, but Michele learnt to use less and stretch the foods out. Pre-frugal days, she would maybe buy 5 chickens on sale at the supermarket, but now she would rather purchase for the same price 3 free-range birds and use less, just adding more vegetables and pulses to meals to bulk them out. Her ethos of wasting nothing is very important. She would use any food leftovers that couldn't be used for consumption to be composted in the garden. She tries to have a zero waste home, but realises this isn't always possible. But she keeps going with recycling, repurposing and regifting. Excessive packaging is always avoided, as is the purchasing of plastic items, preferring to save for items in metal, wood, glass or stoneware as alternatives. Michele says, avoiding the consumerist mindset that more of everything will make us happier. Having less makes you appreciate everything you have. Michele also makes her own liquid floor cleaner and mops. She makes foaming soaps out of leftover shampoos and shower gels and body washes. And the book includes recipes for a DIY deodorant, hair shampoo and conditioner, furniture polish, carpet stain remover, hairspray, and much more. The book also goes into details of how important it is to learn to preserve items from canning, freezing, preserving, and dehydrating. An excerpt from the book. Our tight financial state was the cause of my looking for cheaper ways to keep house, but the effect was a discovery that less is more. We gave up cheaper processed foods in exchange for wholesome, healthy nutrition and replaced harsh cleaners with baking soda, vinegar, essential oils and elbow grease. We have replaced expensive entertainment for family game nights and summer evenings sat around a homemade fire pit. We have realised the value of intentional living. The book is a wonderful, warm and inspiring read. How one housewife turned around her full family's life by starting to get a grip of the runaway household budget. The book is full of top tips and ideas, and she has definitely walked the walk. If you would like a copy of the book, it is on Amazon, and it is surprisingly uber cheap. There's a link in the comments down below. If you're in the UK, the book is £2.75. If you're in America, it's $3.49. If you're in Australia, it's $5.20, and in euros, it's $3.20. I can heartily recommend this book to you, having purchased it myself, and I have certainly learned one or two new things. I am going to leave you with the last lines in Michele's book. Most of all, I want to honour and thank Jesus Christ, my Saviour and all-time favourite minimalist. If we let him lead, we'll live frugally and happily. God bless.